Hi Gemini, welcome to April. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before we get into your reading, I want to talk about the astrology. So this month, Mercury, your ruling planet, will move into Taurus on April 4th. We'll have a full moon in Libra on the 6th. Venus will move into Gemini, your sign, on the 12th. Then there's going to be a solar eclipse, new moon in Aries on the 20th at 29 degrees. And then Mercury, your ruling planet, will go retrograde on the 21st until May 14th. So we'll talk about the astrology later. Let's see what the cards say for Gemini. What does Gemini need to know about love and relationships for the month of April 2022? What does Gemini need to know? What does Gemini need to know about April 2022? 2023. What am I saying? What does Gemini need to know about April 2023? It's been a long day. Okay, so what does Gemini need to know? About love and relationships 2023, April. The Ace of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, the Fool, the Three of Wands, the Six of Swords, the Hierophant, the Hangman, the King of Pentacles, the Temperance, a Chariot, and the card at the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords. Okay, so you're starting the month off with the Ace of Cups. This is love. A new beginning in love, a new seed planted. It could even be something creative. But you're ready for love this month. You have the Three of Pentacles crossing it, so I feel like not only will there be love, there is also career success. The Three of Pentacles is about career recognition, being recognized and rewarded for your talent. It's the Master Craftsman side card. And threes represent birth and completion. You know, you've put effort into something and now you're seeing the results. So I feel like it's going to be an interesting month. You have the Fool card in the bottom as the past. Fool is you've embarked on a new path, brand new situation. And at first it might be, I think it represents career success too, this new path. And it could be scary at first, but it's also exciting at the same time because you're in a new environment. You're learning, adapting to a whole new situation. You have the Three of Wands in the recent past. This is a card of teamwork, partnership, but it's also a card of seeing the results of your efforts. So I feel like you've been really busy with work more than romance, but you have the Nine of Swords here. Now, this is a card of worry, and sometimes it can represent mental stress, where you have a lot of fears, like worried about the future, worrying about what's going to happen next, when is the other shoe going to drop. And it could be, maybe this new situation has some worrisome aspects to it, but I don't think that the outcome is going to be as bad as you're worrying. Most of the time with the Nine of Swords, the things that we worry about may never happen. It's just our fears rising up. Sometimes the Nine of Swords can have guilt associated with it. So maybe you're, worried and feeling guilty about something that you did in the past. But I wouldn't worry too much because I feel like you're moving on to something better this month. So maybe it was a past relationship that's causing you to worry. Thinking like, that maybe you should have handled things differently. But I feel like you're on this new path, this new trajectory. You have the Six of Swords coming up into the future. That's a card of movement. Movement away from difficulty, movement toward greater harmony. You could be dealing with someone, so you might be leaving one relationship and moving on to a new one for some of you. Or you could be dealing with someone who's very stubborn, because the Hierophant, may possibly a Taurus. The Hierophant can represent someone who's very, in a relationship, it could be someone who's very conservative, very strict, very rigid, a little stubborn, not open to change. This could be a person. If it relates to work issues, it could also be a career, a company that's very corporate, that's very strict in its policies. And if you're wanting to make changes, you might be met with resistance, because this is a card of, this is how we've done it. We've been around a long time, and we've done it all. We've always done it this way, and we're not open to change. So you could be up against that, or you could be joining with someone or something that represents stability. Sometimes the Hierophant could even represent marriage, because it represents taking a conservative approach. So like, you're not going to move in and live together. If you're looking for a relationship, if you have this new love start, this person is serious. This person is looking for commitment, is looking to do the right thing. We have the King of Pentacles here in your environment, which we'll get to. This could be the person you're dealing with. You also have the Hangman here. Now, the Hangman is about giving something up for something better. So you're releasing, but it's not a no-brainer, because the Hangman, what you're giving up, you feel like you're making a sacrifice, that you really aren't too unhappy in your current situation, and you really don't want to give up the current situation, but the new situation is so much better that it's like a no-brainer, like, I have to move into this new situation. But you're going to still feel a sense of loss about leaving the current situation, because it's, like I said, it's not like it's so horrible you can't wait to get out of it. It's kind of like, it's okay, but this is so much better. It's like that. It's like, I could live with this, and this is fine. If you didn't have this new opportunity, you probably wouldn't be leaving, but this new opportunity is too good to pass up. If you are moving to something new, like a new relationship, I feel like it has the potential to be stable and to lead to commitment. And it's going to be a brand new experience for you. The King of Pentacles, if this is the person, this person represents someone who's very hard worker, who cares about financial security. He or she probably has a secure job and income. The King of Pentacles can usually be an entrepreneur, someone who deals with money, like a banker or an investor, real estate. He might even deal with real estate. He could also be a farmer, someone who owns land. But whatever he is, he or she, and it could be a she too. I'm just saying he because it's a king. But the court cards could represent either sex. He's very conservative. He's a hard worker. He likes to provide for his family. He could even be an entrepreneur where he owns his own business, but he's got money, and security means a lot. Financial security means a lot to him. And the way he shows love is through providing for the people he cares about. So, he'll work hard so that you could have a nice home and money in the bank and food on the table and, money for education. And you don't have to worry with this king. This king is very stable, very down to earth. May not be as exciting as some of the other characters in the court cards, but he is reliable. And especially with the Hierophant energy, he has a lot of wisdom to share. So you could learn a lot from this person. If the Hierophant represents the relationship, I feel like it has the potential to be stable and lead to commitment, like marriage. If it represents a career opportunity, then the company is very stable as well. It's been around a long time, but it may be very rigid. It may be very corporate. So then in your wish fulfillment, you have the Temperance card. Now this comes up. It's telling you to get your wish. You have to learn how to compromise. You have to learn to see things from another person's perspective. And I think as a Gemini, I don't think you'll have a problem with that. But because Geminis are pretty versatile. You're a mutable sign. You're open to change. You're not rigid. But you could be dealing with someone who's a little rigid. Could be, if it's a Pentacle, it could even be a Taurus, because this is the sign for Taurus. But don't go by that alone, because even though, like, someone may have a sun sign, and then, it could be that their moon is in Taurus, or their rising is Taurus, or they have a lot of Taurus in their chart. But forget about the signs. The nature of the person is stable, secure. He may not be very exciting, but he's very dependable. Someone you can count on to be there for you, which is kind of nice. And the Temperance card is about learning how to work with each other's energies. So you're kind of like, you're compatible, but you're very different. And you approach life in different ways. So you have to kind of see things from the other person's perspective. Even the Hangman represents that, because he's hanging upside down. He's looking at things from a different perspective. And you can make things work with this king, but you have to learn how to compromise and meet each other in the middle and blend your energies together to create a stronger third energy. Like the two of you have different energies, but when you come together, you're creating like the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. The Temperance card also relates to the Archangel Michael. So you have divine protection at this time and guidance. You may feel like you're being pulled in a certain direction, or you're being called to go in a certain direction. Follow those feelings, because it's going to lead you to what you want. Now, the outcome, one of the outcome cards here is the Chariot. I've been struggling with allergies all week. So the Chariot is about victory through discipline and focus. As a Gemini, you like to do a lot of different things. You get bored just doing the same thing over and over. So you have multiple projects always going on. This is telling you, if you want to succeed in a relationship or even in a career situation, you have to figure out what's most important and focus your energy on that goal. And don't spread yourself too thin. Don't take on more than you can handle. And once you figure out where you want to go, you have to just zero in, like laser focus. And you can achieve what you're trying to achieve. You can reach success, but you may have to drop a couple of those side projects so that you'll have the energy and the mental, discipline and focus to spend your time on the thing that's important. Sometimes the Chariot comes up when you travel or you get a new car, because it's a vehicle, or it's a movement card. You have a lot of movement cards in this reading. The Six of Swords, the Chariot, the Hangman. The Hangman is also a card of patience. So don't try to rush things. Just take things one day at a time. As a matter of fact, as far as time goes, the Ace of Cups represents the months of June, July, and August. So that's when things will really heat up. You may be planting the seed now for love, or even career success, because I have career success, I'm seeing like a 3-month period. You might be, and this could be, because the Fool is like a new beginning, you might have started something 3 months ago. And now you're getting recognized for what you've been working on. People are saying, yeah, you're doing a great job. I think you're doing whatever you're working on, you're getting acclimates. People are saying, yes, you're good at what you're doing. We're very happy with your work. You're doing great. You've learned how to work as a team with the Three of Wands. You may be part of a team where everyone has to work together. And you're moving away from conflict and worry. So if you were worried about this new situation, you're not going to be worried for long, because I feel like you're going to start to see that things are going to get smoother, and you were worried about giving something up for something else. With the Hangman, I think once you get into the year, once you get past this month, by the summer you're going to realize you made the right choice. You're going to be in a better place, one way or another. So let's see what the angels have to say. But just remember to find the balance, create that win-win situation with the Temperance card, and focus on what you really want to achieve, the one or two goals, and drop whatever else is not that important. Just focus on the main goals, and you'll get there. So let's see. What do the angels have to say for Gemini? Forgiveness. Holding on to a past hurt is preventing you from moving forward and achieving your heart's desires. Let it go. Forgiveness does not mean that you condone another's actions. It simply means that you are no longer willing to be a perpetual victim to a particular person or event. Blame is a waste of your precious energy. Bless and surrender the past, for in doing so, you will reclaim the joy of life. So, let go of the past. You're on a new path. And the path is going to develop into something more stable and less conflict-ridden, less worrisome. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So Mercury, your ruling planet, moves into Taurus. That's in your 12th house. So you might be keeping your thoughts to yourself. It's a good time to take some time out and meditate and listen to that inner voice, because the 12th house has to do with the unconscious. Sometimes it has to do with hidden enemies. That's traditional astrology. Or psychological blockages, sometimes hospitals, prisons, institutions of confinement. With Mercury there, though, I feel like whatever's in the 12th house is hidden. So you might be thinking things to yourself, but not really communicating. You're not ready to talk about it yet. You're just kind of thinking it over. And you might be thinking about psychological issues, like how am I thinking clearly? Am I communicating clearly? Do people understand where I'm coming from? Is there anything I need to examine within myself in terms of my communication style? Am I getting my point across? Is there anything I'm doing that's sabotaging myself? And those are all the topics of the 12th house. And with Mercury there, you might be doing a lot of thinking about that. So with this full moon, you have the full moon in the 5th house. And that's the house of romance and children. Romance, fun, children, sex, creative self-expression. And you have the Sun, Jupiter, and Chiron in the 11th house of friendship and the groups that you belong to. So something is coming to completion, culmination at this full moon. It could be a romance, that you're seeing certain truths about a relationship or friendships in your life. Jupiter in the 11th brings opportunity to achieve a goal or a dream. But Chiron is also there. So there is some healing that you have to do that involves manifesting your dreams, manifesting what you want. Healing maybe around friendships. Maybe there's a friend you've had a falling out with and you need to have some kind of healing or closure. Because the full moon usually shines a light on an issue. So if something was hidden or you couldn't see something, the information comes out. It's easily seen around the full moon. And with Libra and Aries in opposition, the energies, the energy is between learning how to compromise. Because Aries is about the self. Aries is about, I want what I want when I want it, and I don't care about anything else. Libra is about compromise. Libra is about what's fair. So there has to be a balance in the give and take. So if you've had any conflicts in your relationships about give and take, about, my needs as opposed to your needs, you may come to some type of conclusion or resolution at this full moon. Then we have Mercury, your ruling planet. Okay, it moved into Taurus, and it's moving toward a conjunction with the North Node. So, and at the same time, it is sextile Mars, sextile Saturn. Mars is in your second house of money, Saturn in your career, and it's squaring Pluto in the ninth. So, the sextiles are good aspects. So it's good to have the malefics in positive aspect, because Mars and Saturn can cause problems when they're not in positive aspect. Mars in the second, you're really concerned about money and financial security. And with Mercury in the 12th, I feel like you have to change your thinking or examine your thinking. Do you have any mental blocks about earning money, getting paid what you're worth? Saturn in the 10th, do you have any conflicts around authority figures? Or when Saturn's in your 10th house, though, it usually represents the pinnacle of achievement in your career. Like you worked really hard and now you're being rewarded. You get a promotion. You probably get more responsibility, and you've been working really hard. But with Mercury in the 12th, you want to make sure that you're not sabotaging your success. That you're not thinking thoughts like you're not letting the negative self-talk get to you. Like the gremlins. A lot of times, we get success and and you have this imposter syndrome. Am I doing a good job? Maybe I'm not doing a good job. Maybe I'm just faking it. Fake it till you make it kind of thing. And so you might be feeling a little insecure with with Mercury in the 12th. Or if there are things that are bothering you, you're not speaking up. But Mercury conjunct the North Node, it's wanting you to, it's in Taurus energy, which Taurus represents survival and security. And it rules the second house. Usually the second house is represented by Taurus. It's about self-esteem as well. Not only what you value and what makes you feel secure, but how secure do you feel within? And that could be a mental head trip with Mercury there. So maybe there's some things you need to talk about with a counselor or a good friend. Talk over your fears or talk over your feelings. If you're feeling insecure about anything, it'd be a good time to talk about it, to bring up those psychological blocks so you can overcome it, so you can see it and overcome it. Because that's what's important. Mercury square Pluto in the ninth. Ninth house is about your belief systems. It's about long-distance travel, higher education. Do you have any insecurities about your educational path? What about your belief systems? Are you in conflict with people who believe differently than you? Mercury square Pluto sometimes can come across as harsh communication, where you're like bullying someone. So you want to make sure that you're using communication to empower and not to cut someone down. So watch your communication style. Because if it's not you, it could be that you're dealing with someone else who's like this, who's like because Pluto is all about power. And usually it's power over. So you could be dealing with someone who's abusing their power. And you have to learn how to deal with them. Venus is in Taurus. Venus has been in your 12th house, and it's sextile Neptune in your 10th. So, in a way, Venus sextile Neptune is a good, it's a harmonious connection, especially if you're doing anything creative, because you're getting inspired thoughts. But when you're not doing artwork, so Neptune can sometimes bring confusion. So you might be thinking, am I on the right career path? Neptune in the 10th. Venus in the 12th. You're not sharing your feelings, because Venus is about the expression of love. It's also about money, but it's mostly about feelings and emotions, like how do I feel? How do I give love? How do I attract love? And in the 12th house, it's like you could have feelings for someone and you're not communicating them. Maybe you have a secret crush in the 12th house. Because whatever's in the 12th house is hidden. So you could be hiding it from the world, not expressing it. but maybe even hiding it from yourself if it's an unconscious programming thing. But you can manifest a dream with Venus sextile Neptune. But you have to speak up and you have to let people know how you feel. Now, Mars in the second is trine Saturn in your 10th house. So you're really working hard for the money right now. When Mars is in your second house, sometimes you have unexpected expenses come up. But it's trine Saturn. So any ambition you have about earning money, you can achieve. Anything, your energy is focused on security, financial security. And Saturn in the 10th is sextile the North Node in the 12th. So Saturn really wants you to overcome any psychological blockages, release any baggage or any doubts that you have about your abilities to be a leader, to be successful, to earn money. But you have to take action with these sextile aspects. You can't just sit there and wait for abundance to drop in your lap. You have to do the work. And if you do the work, Mars will give you the courage and the energy. Saturn will give you the discipline and will test you. But if you pass the test, you will get the great rewards. So it's really a matter of knowing what you want and going for it. And I think that the main goal this month is to work on overcoming whatever you perceive as your limitations. Overcome any doubts that you have in your mind about your abilities, because you have the talent. You have the Three of Pentacles here. So then we have the solar eclipse, new moon in Aries, which is favorable to your sign. It's in the 11th house, and that's on the 20th of April. And this is in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, dreams, friendships, the groups you belong to. It also represents the money you make from the work that you do, your career. And this new moon is at 29 degrees Aries, and it's conjunct Jupiter and Chiron. It's close to Chiron, but not really. Chiron is there. So you have some healing to do around working in groups. You have healing to do around manifesting a goal or a dream. And this new moon gives you an opportunity, this eclipse, because Jupiter always brings opportunity. So there could be some opportunity that comes up where you end one cycle, because the eclipse can sometimes mean sudden endings and sudden new beginnings. And so opportunity is knocking. And you have an opportunity to achieve a long-held goal or dream. But you may have to do some healing first before you can get there. So you have to heal your blockages. Heal anything that's saying, I can't do this. You have to think positive. With Jupiter, you have to say, I can do it. Mercury then moves into Taurus. So Mercury started out in Taurus at the beginning of the month. By this solar eclipse, it's making a conjunction to Uranus in your 12th house. So that can bring some surprise developments. It can bring something that was hidden to the surface. A message comes to you, maybe, a secret, or some information that before that you didn't know about, all of a sudden now you're hearing it. But it can bring surprises. Uranus brings surprises. But Mercury conjunct Uranus is also innovative thinking and breakthroughs. So you could have some kind of genius idea that's percolating in your unconscious, and it could come out right now. And so don't be afraid to communicate your ideas. Don't negate your ideas. If you're getting any kind of flashes of inspiration, write them down, because you're getting gems from the universe. Venus at this point has moved into your sign, Gemini, so it's going to cross from the 12th house to the 1st house. When it makes that transition over your ascendant, excuse me, you're going to be attracting love. Whenever Venus crosses your ascendant, it can bring an opportunity for romance. So, and Venus, the only problem is Venus is squaring Saturn, and Saturn's in your 10th house. So there could be an opportunity to romance, but you may be too busy with work to give it enough time. So you have to make that work-life balance. But you might have a lot of responsibilities, so you can't really enjoy it. But it's going to be great. Mars is squaring Chiron at this time. And it's giving you the courage to confront the wounds, I think. To confront your wounds around success, around manifesting a dream, around friendships and the groups that you belong to. So you could have some healing. Now, sometimes Mars in the second, there could be some financial issue that comes up. It creates, maybe you need to work something out around finances with friends. But Saturn is sextile Jupiter. Jupiter. Saturn is sextile the North Node in Taurus. So I feel like you're getting a lot of support between Mars and Saturn to really, you're almost getting an inspired calling. It's like something is calling you to go a certain direction. You're getting these inspired thoughts from the 12th house. So I feel like it's a good time for healing any unconscious beliefs or any unconscious programming that's standing in the way of your success, both in career and in love. So if there's anything you really need to talk about or look at your blind spots, your limiting beliefs, you can do a lot of healing right now. And you have an opportunity to have a new beginning where you could release yourself from the past and be free to express the love that you feel and be free to express your talents and your gifts and share them with the world. Now, right after this new moon is solar eclipse, Mercury goes retrograde. That's your ruling planet. So Mercury is going to be really significant this month for you because it's also your ruling planet and it's also retrograding. So you may have to go, when Mercury retrogrades, it's time to look back. And it's retrograding in your 12th house. So what is it that you need to look back at? What is it that's been hidden, that you've been hiding, not only from others, but from yourself, maybe? And rethink, rework. It would be a good time to do some counseling or talk to a friend or a family member that you trust and really think about the 12th house issues. Where do I need to heal? What do I need to confront that I've been hiding from myself? What do I need to be aware of that I'm, my blind spots that everyone else can see, but I can't? If you can do that, if you have the courage to do that and work on yourself, you can have like a rebirth. You can be like a powerhouse of success. You just have to overcome some of these blocks that have to do with healing the wounded parts within you. And once you get at that and you heal that, nothing can stop you. You're going to be on this new path. It's going to be like being reborn. So, and you're going to be able to welcome love and abundance into your life. You have the opportunity for all that. You have the opportunity. You just have to do the work. You just have to have the courage to look within and to examine yourself and forgive the past. Forgive yourself even if you feel, nobody's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes in life. So if you've done things that you're sorry about, just forgive and let go and heal. And now you know better, you do better, as Angela Maya Angelou always says. So I think you're on the edge of a new beginning, and you're going to be attracting love this month, especially when Venus goes across your ascendant. So don't work on your blockages, on your fears, so that when love comes across your path, you don't push it away. You welcome it with open arms. So that's my forecast, Gemini. If you enjoyed this reading, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, leave a comment if this resonated with you. It helps the channel. And thank you for supporting this channel through your likes, your subscribes, your readings. I wouldn't be here without you. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Have a wonderful April, and I'll talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.